I killed them today. I said, we're going to do a little warm-up today.
Great.
And they sort of all sort of were a little bit shocked what my idea of a little warm-up was. But they needed it for what they're going to show you. Everything that you do in your Pilates lesson the first day that you come will be apparent in all of these high-end exercises that you're going to see. I want to show you where you will be able to go at some point in your Pilates career.
Maybe not in 10 years.
Maybe not 10 years. Some of you have done some of these. Some of you have probably never seen some of these or have done iterations of them. The first exercise we're going to show, these poor guys didn't even get to have champagne or anything. We knew they were going to perform. This is the rowing. It's an advanced exercise. And the reason it's advanced is because it looks really easy. But the deal is, this is where your roll-up started. It has nothing to do with the arms. We do isolate the arms, but they're pulling this down like a roll-up, and they're rolling forward, but now you have no arms to help you. And this, Ramon was very specific that this is not for beginners. And they're not pulling with their arms, they're pulling with their powerhouse and their box. So that exercise, flat back, you learned when you took the pole and went back flat in your short box. So you watch them, they take a flat back, and they're using their triceps to stabilize their arm. And they reach forward. This is a beautiful exercise that helps to stretch the spine. It's the roll up and the neck pull and the flat back times 5,000. The next exercise is the swan. The swan is normally, and you guys get to relax there for a second. If you notice, I chose for my logo an arch in the body. And most of you know, we spend most of the time doing this, rounding. But eventually we want to be able to round and arch and work the spine to its fullest, like animals do. So I picked that as my logo because that's our grand achievement, that we can go all the way down like this. Hi, Jeanette, thanks for the flowers. And then all the way back in an arch. So the swan is normally done on the barrel, and a lot of you have performed the swan on the barrel. When we get into the advanced work, we don't want to leave the reformer and come over here to do the swan, so we do it here. And they lift up, they open the front of the body, they close the front of the body, they lift up and open the front of the body, they stretch out into a long stretch position, and come down. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. The next exercise that we usually perform right after this one is the horseback, and again, you might have done it here, but this horse bucks. Okay, so now you're dealing with doing this exercise, but you're pulling straps and the box is moving. And so it's a great exercise for controlled rounding the spine. And so you're using their inner thighs and their powerhouse. And then to add a little degree of difficulty, we'll add some circles on that. And while that may look easy, it really isn't. It takes a lot of control to move the apparatus and beautiful.
They do this so silent.
No runs and groans like no. I beat them today. No runs and groans, or I wouldn't. Now, this. So we have again. A big exercise. So we just went, if you saw us, we went this way, then we did the horseback, and now we're going to go back this way. Pilates always did everything always opposite. You do this, and then you do that, and then you do this again. This is called breaststroke. It's another very advanced exercise. Not many people will do that as clients, but as teachers, we have to do everything. 1, 2, 3. They reach out, they come up, they open the chest, and they come down. And 1, 2, 3. Kathleen will try this next Tuesday.
Oh, I'm looking at
And down. Then of course we have to 3, they go back, and they lift up, reach out long, and 1, 2, 3, and back, and then reach out long, and down. Now, Romana would make us do this sometimes without a spotter. The next exercise is an exercise that every one of you, if you've been in here, has probably done a version of. It's called a tree. But again, once we get advanced, just the Pilates couldn't leave well enough alone. So they stretch up, and 2, and 3. Now what they're going to do, and Dorothy has done this exercise, and come down, they're going to grab the reformer. We have our leg circles. Cross down and round up. 1, cross down and round up. 2, cross down and round. 3, reverse. Out, cross. 1, out, cross. 2, out. So if you thought leg circles was hard on the mat, well, you know, just what you have in store. They take their leg out to the side because they want to stretch their inner thighs, and they go down, and they stretch that inner thigh and open the front of their body, and come on up, and then always we end with a curve and stretch. We'll let them do it to the other side so they won't limp. One side will be longer than the other. Stretch 1, and 2, and 3. Coming to a Pilates lesson near you. And they circle. Cross down around up 1. Cross down around up 2. Cross down around 3. Reverse. Out cross 1. Out cross 2. Out cross 3. I think Joseph Pilates had a little time on his hands. You know? Then they take and stretch their inner thighs. As you know, you're all working to build the strength of the inner thigh, but we also have to stretch it. And up, and then we always finish an arch with the curve of the body. Very nice thing. That's called a tree. That's a tree. That's the advanced tree. The next exercise is the snake and the twist. Most clients won't get to this exercise. It's a very advanced exercise. We learn it on the mat often first. Tina's going to show the first way we learn it. So she's going to round up, that's an elephant, right? You learn the elephant. And then she goes out, if any of you have done the down stretch, she does her down stretch. And then she rounds back up to her elephant. Simple. And then she goes out, and this time she's going to turn around and make a twist. And then she's going to come back into her elephant. So all of you who do your elephant every day, you know this is where we're going. The next version of this we do, that Elizabeth's going to show, is with the bar up. Getting into it's the worst part. So she does the same thing. But there's a little degree of difficulty because you have a little less to balance on, and it's a little more precarious. And she turns around into a twist, and she comes back up. Isn't it a beautiful exercise? The next thing we do is then we take away one arm. Sherry's going to demonstrate this with one arm. And he reaches out, he opens up, and out, and then open into your twist, and back, and he curls up. Very good. So on the other side, we'll do all 3 versions, one snake and one twist. So starting in the elephant position, you go out and lengthen the body, and you round and come up. And you go out, and you twist the body, and you come right back up. A lot of control. Very nice, thank you. I think the mat class, I'll learn the twist on the mat. Who's teaching it Tuesday? Yeah, think about that. They're beautiful exercises. Again, we're with centering concentration and control in the very beginning, and then we get really precise. And then we start flowing with breath. And as you see, the movements get longer and more complicated. as we progress up the levels. This next exercise is another exercise that kind of combines a lot of things. They're going to come up into a jackknife. You all have, some of you have done the jackknife. And it's called the balance control. They're just checking out where the edge of their reformer is right now. And then they come up to the jackknife, and now they're going to push themselves off and lift their bodies up. And then come back down, end up in a jackknife. Inner thighs work there. And they go off the other side. And lift. And then come up into your jackknife position. And come down. Very nice. One of my clients who's been here for 10 years has done that exercise before. So some of you, I think it's time that you maybe start learning that just so you know. So that was a really beautiful exercise in everything, strength, stretch, and control. The next exercise is called the handstands. Joseph Pilates believed in also strengthening the neck. In fact, there's a neck tensiometer over there that we use to strengthen our neck. Most clients won't do this. Teachers, of course, we all have to do this as teachers. Mostly it's for men, but again, if you're a woman and you're teaching this, you still have to learn to do it. It's called the handstands. So they're going to balance on a point of their head. They're in an elephant position. Again, remember your elephant position? They're going to swing down into a swan position in their body. And they're going to round back up in the elephant. Now to get really fancy, we may take our hands off and not even hold on. And they go down and dip their pelvis to the ground. And they round up back into your elephant and step off. It's a beautiful exercise. But of course, Joseph Pilates wouldn't leave well enough alone. We have to do it the other way. They go out. They lower their heels. They lift their heels. They come in. They're in a swan position upside down. They go out. They lower their heels. They lift their heels and come in. And then they roll down through their spine always. Very nice. So that was great strength exercise. We also have great stretch exercise. The grande cart is one of them. And down into a split. And come on, round over. Go down into a split. And come up. Round up and arch. And go out into a split. And come up. And round over. I hope that was nobody's hip. Okay. Quite lovely, isn't it? Takes a lot of control. And stretch out all the way. Go, 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 go. Why not? And come on up. Round over. And go down. And another split. Very good. And we're not talking a splash of champagne. And arch your back and lift the chest and go out into your split. Okay, good. And come on up. Very good. And step off. Now, some of you have done, all of you have probably done the leg circles, right? The leg circles. Well, eventually that turns into what's called the long spine massage. Some of you might have done that where you're lifting your hips in the air with the straps. Well, eventually we do this without any straps. We do this, so you come up, open the legs like your leg circles, and you pull your straps down. Unfortunately, there's just no straps to be had, so you have to levitate down into space. And we do that again, because one's not good enough. Open, and they pull as if they're pulling on straps, and they literally levitate their body in space. And then they reverse, Kathleen, do you want to try this tomorrow?
I'm with you.
Okay. And lengthen out. Susan Davis, you might enjoy this too. And it almost looks a Cirque du Soleil-like.
Yes,
And lengthen out. Very, very controlled, strong movement. And relax. Very good. Thank you. So those are some of the high-end exercises we have on the Reformer. Now we can ask you all to kind of move over there. We're going to demonstrate some exercises on the barrel and the chair. So just as you saw the last exercise, being in kind of a plank position against gravity, and if you're working intermediate, you're already doing the long stretch, and the long stretch helps build the strength for a plank position. And you saw how they use that strength in a plank position to come down. This is called jumping on the stomach. It's more fun than it looks like. And this exercise asks them to lift their plank up in the air and land on their abdominals. And lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Very good. I mean, he had entirely too much time on his hands, I think. The next exercise will stretch the front of the body again and use the strength of the back of the body. It's called the grasshopper. They lift their legs up, they bend their knees, they stretch, and they click their legs together using their inner thighs on the way down, hence the name grasshopper. And lift up, bend your knees, stretch, and click on the way down, freeze a charm, and lift, bend, stretch, and all the way down, and that's your grasshopper. So we saw it, was it you that said that was the tree? Well, I'm glad you're sitting down to see the next tree. Because this is the next tree, okay? And we do this with assistance. There are very few people who can do this alone. They're going to go down, there's your tree. And they come off into a split, and then they lift up. And then they come up. Getting back on is the worst part. And then they have to do the other leg. We have to keep it balanced, you know. Martha, I think you'd like to do this one.
Oh, yes, I would.
Yeah. And they go into their split. So all those hundreds, all those roll-ups, this is what you're doing it for, right? This is our goal. Very nice. So the barrel is... You might see some of those in the studio every day. You might see the ladder barrel stretch a lot, but not so much those. Okay. The chair is, Romana always taught us that we do the chair, but it's really the most advanced piece of equipment. Joseph Pilates designed this. The Chinese acrobats used to just have a box. You know, they put their hands on the box and then like lift their body up and do all sorts of things. But he gave us a step because we're mere human mortals here. So Mo and Trina are going to do the going up front on the one chair. Now most of you do it on the electric chair over there, right? You'll see this actually where the origin is over on that piece of equipment, which most of you know is a basic exercise. This is what it turns into. And they come up, just like you do in the electric chair, and they go down. They come up. And remember those Rossi Jones and the mat class? Well, here they come back to haunt you. And come down. In the advanced exercise, they balance on their feet. And change. And come on up. And down. And twist, but then he has to throw in a teaser. There you go. Okay. And some of you have done this exercise. Dorothy, I believe you've done this exercise. We haven't done it in a while. We should do it now. And they come up into their teaser. Everybody's favorite exercise, the teaser. And they go out. And this time when they're out in this long position, they're going to twist their body around from the rib cage. It doesn't look like anything, but it's a heck of a lot of work. And they come back up and finish as a teaser. Very nice. They go out, so they're looking for that long plank position here. And then they use their powerhouse to come up to their teaser position. And they go out to that long plank position, twist and wring out their rib cage. And they come back and they move, reach both arms and find the teaser. On one cheek, Mike, by the way. Mostly a man's exercise. We do a lot of push-ups in here. You may not know. Let's come back a little further. You may not know it, but just your long stretch position is a push-up. Some of you do push-ups in mat class. But we have 3 different push-ups on this chair. And this is the last one. It's kind of fun and it looks pretty fancy. And it is kind of, I love this one. Here we go. Round down. And so they're going to come up to their push-up position. We have a spotter just because it is pretty hard to do this. There's only one spring on there. It can come down to the ground. Walk out to your push-up position. They're going to do 2 push-ups. Bend up 1, bend up 2. Now, they're going to go forward like a long stretch and pull the pedal down and push it back up. And they're doing it. They're just there to guide them and make sure and up. Now they do both of them. They bend and go forward and up using their inner thighs like crazy. They go down and up, and eventually we do this with one leg in the air. But I won't make them do that tonight. Walk back in and we're going to go right over to the Cadillac. We're going to have to name this guy. I guess I should name Joe.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff.
Janice, you can have your skeleton back.
You don't have a buddy to play with.
Okay, so there's, you know, on every piece of equipment, there's about 58 different exercises. Okay, and hang on a second, you guys. But some of the things that you won't, I want to show you some of the things that you might not ever do or see. But Martha, I've always, where's Martha?
Here.
Yeah, remember I've always talked to you about the squirrel?
I love the squirrel.
So we're going to finally see the squirrel. But before that, we're going to start with the elephant. So let's come on up and in. And they're going to go down and they're going to wiggle their feet around because we want, without a spotter, we need to make sure the feet are very secure for these next exercises. You good there? Yeah. Okay. And don't fall out. All right, and then you're going to go off into your hanging. A lot of you have done this exercise. It's beautiful and it feels great. And then, but we have a hanging off the side that you probably have not done. They're going to spin around to the other side. They kind of look like monkeys. And now, make sure your feet are secure. And we're going to flip over and go into our squirrel. And then they come down and get ready for the squirrel in flight. Bend your knees and make your elephant happen. You go down, under and up. And you go down, under and up. You go down, under and up. And reverse. Go out, down and up. Out, down and up. And down and up, and then they're gonna flip around and come up and just hang in a bubble. So if anybody wants to do any of this next week, just let us know. We'll stay happy. Just gotta sign a little waiver before you do it. Okay. So that took a lot, hang on, Trina, that took a lot of strength to do those exercises, right? Because it took a lot of upper body strength to get into them. This next exercise we call the splits and the fuzzy, and it takes a lot of flexibility and upper body strength. And down into a split, and up, they turn. They go down into a split, and up, they turn, and they go down into a split, and they come up, they take their feet out of the fuzzies, and they do a little bicycle up there, and then they softly come down. Woo! To show you, it's on the brochure. Romana doing it. We call the candlestick at the 5-year anniversary party. I did this exercise, but as it's so poignant that now I'm in Romana's spot. I mean, I'm not Romana, but I'm in her spot. I am the generation that has to teach this generation. That's why I wanted to showcase my teachers, because they're really dedicated and passionate about this work, and that's what Romana wanted. This is called the candlestick. Romana did this when she was 85. Wow. So when you're struggling with your hundreds or your roll up or your tree or your Ronda John, keep in mind where it's going to go someday. And never say never. So that's the Any questions? Thank you all for coming. We have some lovely cupcakes from Cream and Butter. Please enjoy. We probably have some more champagne. I'm sure there's more wine. And thank you so much for coming and making this a wonderful party for us.